Cable 7 and 103.7 WTIB present Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton. News, sports, and community information and everything that's going on around town. Now, with Talk of the Town, here's your host, Henry Hinton.
All right, welcome back. It's Talk of the Town Thursday morning, third day of October. Henry and Trent here this morning. Good morning, McGee.
Good morning.
And Heather King this morning at the news desk here from WIT. And good morning, Heather.
Good morning, Henry.
Nice to see you.
Great to be here.
I always love it when you're here. You're such a spark of sunshine.
Aw, thanks.
Who was it that said that when Heather comes in the room, my attitude changes?
Someone emailed you about that from Edenton.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Heather changes. Look, Heather's a spark in everyone's life. That's why she does such a great job on television in the morning. She's our morning spark to get our day going.
Get out of bed.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah. Your ratings on your morning show on television have got to be astronomical these days. You and Jim are doing an unbelievable job.
We've had the good fortune of having the same morning show team for 11 years. I mean, that is a very long time, especially in a market this size. So it's great.
You like doing the mornings, don't you?
I do. I do. You know, yesterday
Most people in your position are like, no, give me the sex.
Well, yeah, this is true. I love the morning show, though. Yesterday, my day was done. I picked up my girls at 1 o'clock. We had a play date in the afternoon. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
I really am.
Except that you got to go to bed at 6.
Well, 8:30. Still watch
How
Homeland.
much sleep do you get every night? How can you be so cheery with only getting 6 hours of sleep?
Coffee is great. I mean, and
the life of
have
the anchor
fun.
woman. Come on.
We have fun. There's a lot to be happy about.
Yeah. All right, this hour we're going to meet the gentleman who says he's going to primary Walter Jones. This gentleman, Taylor Griffin, who has been working in Washington, D.C. for many years. I think he's originally from Wilson County, is going to run for, he's throwing his hat in the ring this morning, making his announcement right here that he's going to run against Walter Jones. And so we'll be meeting him coming up at about 8:30 this morning. Speaking of politics, we were talking about the article in this morning's paper where, incredibly, someone is challenging, and I don't know anything about this, but I think the burden is going to be on the people challenging the city council person. Terry Williams is running for Greenville City Council in District 4. This is an open seat. It was Calvin Mercer's seat. Right. You might remember there was a stolen sign when Terry Williams and Calvin Mercer first ran against each other. This was right after, I think I'm right about this. I believe Ray Kraft had just stepped down off the city council and in District 4. Is my memory serving me here? And that sound right to you?
It does.
And then Calvin Mercer, who had never run for office before, ran against Terry Williams in that district, and there was allegedly someone from the Mercer campaign had stolen a sign, and they were actually it actually went to court, and it turned out to be I've heard a lot about that case over the years, but since that time Terry Williams has not run again. And so now the seat is open again because Calvin Mercer's leaving District 4 and running for the at-large seat against Dennis Mitchell. And so a protest has been filed by someone by the name of William Bivens, who is a resident of District 4, according to the newspaper this morning, questioning whether or not Terry Williams really lives at 300 Oxford Road in Greenville, or whether she lives in she and her husband have a property down in Bath in Beaufort County. They have a small river home down there apparently, and she cited that she lived there in August of last year on a bankruptcy document. And so now I've been told that she moved back to Greenville to live with her husband's parents because there was one of the parents is ill and they were moving back to help take care of it. But I mean, Terry and Tommy Williams, if you live in Greenville, you've known they've lived here their whole lives. I mean, I mentioned that J.T. Williams, who was Tommy's father, was the solid as a dollar guy on the old Azalea mobile home commercials. And so Terry Williams is running for District 4 City Council. And now someone is challenging whether she really lives in Greenville or lives in Bath. And again, this is on the heels of the article that ran about a week and a half ago in the Daily Reflector that talked about her financial problems, the fact that she'd had to file bankruptcy. And, a lot of us have questioned, where all of that came from. And that's one of the questions actually in this morning's letter to the editor from Bill Clark. He was like, where'd the information come from for that article? Bill says, Williams told you during your interview she felt it was personal. I, for one, have more admiration for her because the article, since she suffered personal financial problems, she has done so with courage and determination. The information was very personal, and she says, it was interesting your article was interesting in two respects. The information was very personal, and second, where did you obtain it? So, somebody's feeding the Daily Reflector this information. And I think it's going to backfire on whoever's doing it, because the reality of it is that, if you know anything about their personal situation, and I've known these folks for years, I would not say I'm close friends with them, but I'm friendly with them, as I am with most people. But the reality of it is that Terry's husband has been very ill. He almost died. He's got neck and throat cancer. Neck and head cancer, which is a very rare cancer, by the way, to get head cancer.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, but he's had cancer, and he nearly died, and he was on a feeding tube for 11 months. And so again, you question now. We see what's happening in Raleigh with some of the way that WRAL and the News Observer have treated some of the folks that are in the McCrory cabinet. Again, we talked to Sharon Decker this morning. She's not gotten any of that yet. And the governor's certainly getting a snoot full of it. But, if it gets down to the local level where, people running for city council are attacked personally like this, you got to wonder who's going to want to run for anything. Who is going to want to run? If you've been in business, if you're in business and you've been in business in the last 10 years and you haven't had some financial woes, some more than others. And of course, you got to remember the Williams work in the housing industry.
Right.
And on top of that, in the middle of all that, Tommy got cancer and nearly died. So they did file bankruptcy. But now she's willing to come back and run for city council, and they've gotten most of that behind them, I think, and she's willing to run. But people are willing to point that out. I'm getting emails this morning. How many people out there would like to serve their community but are worried about the negative outcome? I know Mrs. Williams, and she's a very respectful woman. That from TJ this morning. Thank you, TJ. This is a page on how Obama got started in politics. That's the email this morning. But, I'm sad by the way this is being handled. And, the Daily Reflector will say that, well, it's news, we got to report it. But, there's a limit, isn't there? And, again, if I was advising the candidates on the other side of this, I would say back off. You don't want to attack a woman, number one, which never works well in politics. And I'm not sure you want to attack a woman whose husband nearly died of cancer. And I don't understand, the strategy there. What's that got to do with somebody's ability to make decisions about, what the land use plan and those kind of things?
Sounds like real life.
Well,
those kinds of things happen, and not to say that I don't know all the details. To be fair, but sometimes really bad things happen to good people. People get sick, and it changes the landscape of everything.
Well, you're gonna, I think what ends up happening is then the other side says, let's examine every part of the other people's lives. And does anybody not have something that they don't want the public to know and not to be on the front page of the newspaper?
If you don't, you're lying. Everyone does.
Exactly.
Everyone does.
It's just, I'm in business. I've here's the thing that really frustrates me more than anything else is when people in business, let me tell you something. If you run a business, unless you are independently wealthy or you're a trust fund baby and you're spending your mom and daddy's money or something, if you're willing to put yourself out there as a business person, you're risking everything.
Yes.
You're risking your home. Look, I do it. I mean, my wife looks at me every now and then over the years and, has said to me, "Are you sure?" And here's the thing. I mean, you've got to be somewhat fearless if you're going to be a business person, because you're borrowing lots of money from banks, but you're creating jobs and you're making payroll and those kind of things. And it gets tough when the economy gets bad. And we were near a depression in this country 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And people in the housing industry, a lot of my friends, a lot of good friends of mine, ended up having to move on and do something else. Because, hey, here's the thing. When you can't sell your product, you're out of business. Does anybody know what, that Tommy Williams was doing for a living when he got cancer? Attack that guy because he's had bankruptcy and nearly died. I mean, I just think this is going to backfire. 19 after 8. Again, Taylor Griffin coming up here in a minute. You want to go? Let's go ahead and get our news update in. Okay. There's a lot of breaking news this morning, including that story out of Morehead City about a police officer that was shot in a training, allegedly.
Right. It's under investigation.
It looks like a training accident.
Sounds like that from the eyewitness reports as well.
Yeah, but Heather is here this morning with all of that. Let's go to the news desk now. Here's Heather King.
All right. Thanks so much, Henry. We'll update you, first of all, on the Morehead City police officer who is recovering, fighting for his life this morning. Officer Garrett Hardin is still listed in critical condition this morning after he was shot during that training accident. Morehead City police say he was accidentally shot by another police officer Wednesday morning. He was wounded during a tactical training exercise and was then airlifted to Vidant Medical Center in Greenville. A man who says he witnessed the shooting tells WITN it appeared officers were training in and around a police car, and he heard what sounded like several clicks from a handgun, but then the man says one of the guns went off, wounding the other officer who was sitting in the back seat. The man says he heard people yell, officer down," then saw more police running to the parking lot. The SBI says they are investigating this officer-involved shooting at the request of the Morehead City Police Department and the district attorney. The chief of police, Ren Johnson, says they are a very strong police department and they're praying for the officer and his family. Breaking overnight, Washington police said they're investigating a Wednesday night armed robbery at a local sweepstakes cafe. Investigators say at 9:40 p.m., the Pamlico Internet Cafe was robbed. It's a business in the same shopping plaza as the Washington Walmart along Carolina Avenue or Highway 17. Police say one person got away with cash. No one was injured. They're still working to figure out if a gun was actually used in the robbery. The clerk told police she believed the suspect had a weapon with him. The business was open when the man came in demanding money, and right now police are reviewing surveillance video to try to put together a suspect description. Enrollment in the Affordable Care Act is entering day 3 today, and throughout North Carolina, no one's actually been able to sign up. The system for enrollment has been down from the start, keeping people from getting to the page to create a login to the database. At the Snow Hill Medical Center, enrollment specialists have been rescheduling appointments with people who were hoping to get the new insurance. North Carolina State Board of Education is talking about bigger class sizes today, along with the new requirement that every child know how to read before the 4th grade. The school board's monthly meeting agenda includes changing school rules in line with decisions this year's General Assembly made to drop class size limits in grades 4 through 12 and eliminate the state school board's ability to add teaching positions to full schools. The school board may also act on the legislature's move eliminating social promotions for children who cannot meet the reading standard. And a heads up today along Highway 11 in the Ayden-Grifton area. What might look like a really bad situation is actually just a lesson for teenagers. Ayden-Grifton High School is hosting a car accident prevention demonstration. Emergency responders and law enforcement are pitching in for a lifelike reenactment of a serious car crash. This is expected around 2 o'clock this afternoon, so if you see what looks like an emergency on Highway 11 near Ayden-Grifton High School, it is a mock accident, 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's the latest from the news department. Henry, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Heather, great to see you this morning.
Good to see you as well.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, let's check some weather now. A lot of outdoor activities this week in eastern North Carolina, and the weather looks fabulous. Here's McGee with that.
Sunny and warm, Hen, for the next few days. For tonight, clear skies or partly cloudy skies with the lows In the low 60s for Friday, sunshine with a warm high of 86 degrees, so that summer hot temperatures they're back for right now. For Friday night, clear skies with a low of 61. Plenty of sunshine on tap for your Saturday with a high of 88 degrees. And for Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds with highs in the low 80s and lows in the low 60s.
All right, Suddenlink brings us our news and our weather update this morning. And for you Dish Network people, satellite has done it again. Dish Network has dropped your local CBS affiliate, WNCT. Did you know that? If you're on satellite right now on Dish Network, you cannot get WNCT TV here in Greenville. Don't miss out on your favorite programs like Big Bang Theory, NCIS, the local news and weather, as well as NFL football on CBS.
That's big.
This weekend. You're not going to get that. College football also. They got the SEC package, a lot of the other college football games on CBS. Switch now to Suddenlink and leave those Dish problems in the past. Don't get locked into a satellite contract. Call today, switch and save with Suddenlink. It's a true bundle, and satellite can't do that. Switch now. Suddenlink can bundle and save. Prices very low, some of the best prices of the year right now. Switch now and save with Suddenlink. And don't forget, not only will you get WNCT if you're a Suddenlink customer, while you're not getting it on Dish right now, while they're having their little dispute with CBS. Also, new video-on-demand movies are out in the month of October already. This Is the End is out there. Is that a movie about the Doors?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know about This Is the End.
This is the end.
Next week, though, the Hangover Part 3 will debut. Available weeks before Netflix and Redbox has it. Also coming in October, The Heat, Pacific Rim, The Conjuring, The Internship, and for you kiddies, Monsters University, which I'll have to get for my grandson.
Yeah,
Great stuff. All right, so call Suddenlink today, 1-866-432-1184. 866-432-1184. Switch from Dish to Suddenlink right now, and you'll get CBS programming. All right, 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, we're coming back. More Talk of the Town on the way later this hour. The gentleman who is challenging Walter Jones in the Republican primary in May, Taylor Griffin, making his announcement here on the program this morning. We'll be back with that and more as we roll through Thursday morning, October 3rd.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10. Delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a live-in manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are Pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
Unsafe drivers are all around you, speeding, texting, doing things that cause accidents and result in serious injury.
At Hardy & Hardy, we think those drivers and their insurance companies should be held responsible. We provide aggressive representation in and out of the courtroom, fighting for our clients' compensation for medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, and permanent injuries.
Count on Hardy & Hardy, protecting the rights of the seriously injured.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on the big picture, always striving to do what's right. Carolina Vision Care.
House, the Shaw Floors You Save, We Give sale. You save up to $500 on select Shaw flooring, like carpet, hardwood, and more. We give to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help them find cures and save children. Hurry, event ends November 18th.
Contact Jason Boyd today at Boyd's Carpet, 115C Fire Tower Road in Winterville. Call 321-7066.
Okay, welcome back. Talk of the Town, Thursday morning, third day of October. Good to have you here this morning. And we've been telling you that we were going to have a big announcement on the program this morning, and here we go. The political silly season is about to ensue, as you may have already noticed from some of the stuff in the newspaper this morning we've been talking about. But also now there's going to be a challenge to Representative Walter Jones, Congressman Jones, of course, a longtime 3rd District Congressman here in Eastern North Carolina, and someone in the Republican Party. We've been saying all along, who's going to step up? For a long time, it looked like it was going to be Scott Dacey out of Craven County, the chairman of the Craven County Commissioners, who was going to challenge Congressman Jones in the primary, but that apparently has fizzled from what we understand, and there is another challenge, though. A young man by the name of Taylor Griffin is stepping up, and Taylor is here this morning to make his announcement. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Henry. Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you. It's now, tell us about yourself, Taylor. I'll let you make your announcement first. You have decided you're going to run against Congressman Jones, right?
That is correct. This morning we are announcing that I will be running against Congressman Jones in the primary coming up this May to represent Eastern North Carolina in Congress.
All right. Well, we'll get to the reasons why, but let's talk about you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Wilson, North Carolina. My family goes back to the first settlers of Eastern North Carolina, and went to Washington to work for Senator Jesse Helms, who I personally believe is one of the greatest public servants this state has ever had, and got to see how you put conservative ideals and principles into actual action. And after having an opportunity to work for the president in the White House, for President Bush, and on both of his campaigns, and to start my own business and learn what it means to sign a paycheck, and we had about 20 employees before it was all over again. I moved back to Eastern North Carolina to be in the place I love with the people I love, and to hopefully be able to serve the communities here in Eastern North Carolina as their representative in Congress.
So you worked for President, was it Bush 1 or Bush 2?
Bush 2.
Bush 2. You worked for. What did you do in the White House for him?
So in the White House, I was a regional spokesman. So I had the Mid-Atlantic region, and I dealt with talk radio, actually.
Well, you've got experience dealing with all the wackos, then.
I don't know about that. I mean, I actually got. I was just talking to the guys in the other studio when I had to do my community service and to graduate high school. I helped out a local public radio station and ended up getting ended up by hook or by crook, some DJ had forgotten to bring his CDs, or had forgotten to come, and I just happened to have the right CDs for that format in my car, and they put me on the air with the program director to fill in, and they ended up giving me that show, and I stayed. It was a little public radio station out of Rocky Mount, and so I kind of got my start and got my first experience in media, and just quite accidentally in radio. So.
Why are you're a Republican? Walter Jones is a longtime Republican, and we talk about this often on this show. He's got as they say in the political business, and you've been around the block in politics. It sounds like
a few times.
He's got a little name recognition in Eastern North Carolina, having been in Congress for as many years as he has, and of course his father before that had been in Congress. Why challenge a guy who's got that kind of name recognition?
Well, Henry, I think Washington is broken, and politicians who've been there too long, they don't even know it. And I really believe that Eastern North Carolina deserves better. Eastern North Carolina deserves fresh leadership that's focused on the needs of these communities and creating jobs, protecting our values, and really representing Eastern North Carolina as an ambassador for the region. I remember working for Senator Helms when there was when there was a business that was thinking about locating in the South or really anywhere in the country. A lot of times Senator Helms would call the CEO up or call the leadership up and say, "Hey, let me take you down to North Carolina. And let's talk about how it might be a great place for you to locate." And I think that I think that same sort of concept works for a congressman. You're not only someone who goes up there to vote, you're also an ambassador for the region, an advocate for the region with all segments of society. And so I think that if I were to have the great honor of being elected to this role, that would be something that I would focus very closely on, because we've got some of the greatest people in the world. We've got, a quality of life that just cannot be matched. And if we really work at it, I don't think we have to have an 11.2% unemployment rate in Eastern North Carolina like we do right now. I don't think we have to have, 71% of single mothers with kids under 5 are living in poverty in Eastern North Carolina. I think that the solution is the private sector, the solution is businesses, but there needs to be an effective advocate, and I hope to be that person.
If you're just joining us, Taylor Griffin announcing this morning that he's going to run for Congress in the Republican primary in May against Congressman Walter Jones. There's an old joke. I've told it many times. I'll say the same thing to you. I said to Scott Dacey earlier this year, when you're running against Walter Jones, bring your wallet, and you know that it's going to cost a lot of money to run against a guy like Walter Jones. How are you going to fund this? Have you got any groups that are behind you that are encouraging you to step up and run against the congressman?
Well, you fund a campaign $1 at a time, Henry, and I think that there's a saying that good policy is good politics, and good politics is good fundraising. I think that if you have a message that resonates with people, the money will be there. That's why, in some sense, the private financing of campaigns, that barrier to entry into politics, is one way to really weed out the candidates who are really resonating and really representing people. Because when people are willing to reach into their wallets and give $5, $10, or however much it is of their hard-earned cash to a member of Congress or to a challenger to a member of Congress, in my case, it really shows that they're committed, that they're willing to sacrifice and money that they could be spending on their family to help make sure they have a representative they want in Congress. And I think when a message resonates, people reach into their pockets and do that every time.
So do you have groups that have stepped up to say that we want you to run, or we're encouraging you to run?
I think there are a lot of, I've spent the last...
I know that's a question that's going to come up quite a bit.
Of course. So, well, I'm not running for any groups. I'm running for I'm running for individual voters in Eastern North Carolina. So I've spent the last 2 or 3 months traveling around. I've logged, I think I reset the odometer and have kept up with it. It's right now just short of 10,000 miles in Eastern North Carolina over the past 3 months or so. There's about 7 million square miles in the 3rd Congressional District, and I've probably driven most of them, and talk to people, because it's important if you think that a congressman should be replaced or that it's time for some new blood. The question you have to ask is, am I the new blood? Am I what people really want? And so before I made this decision and made this leap, I spent that time talking to people, and I really did feel that there were going to be a lot of individuals and a lot of voters who are going to support me. But as far as running for any sort of big group, I'm running for Eastern North Carolina. I'm not running for anything else.
Congressman Jones, of course, had a pretty large, well-publicized dispute with the Speaker of the House, John Boehner.
He did.
Last year, and a lot of people have wondered if even people in leadership would try to recruit someone to run against Congressman Jones. Have you been recruited by anyone like that?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not been recruited by leadership, no. I think that you have to run campaigns because people want you to run and they want you to represent them. That was a question that I had to ask for myself. So, I don't really particularly care whether or not John Boehner wants me to run or not, because I'm not running to represent John Boehner. I'm not running to represent anybody but the people of Eastern North Carolina.
How about let's talk about some of the current events. We've got a few things happening in Washington. Actually, we don't have much happening in Washington right now with the government shutdown and the.
Maybe that's a good thing, though, Henry.
Well, somebody asked me this morning how it was going to end. I said I hope it doesn't end, but ultimately it's got to end. So, give us your views on what's happening right now with the beginning of Obamacare and the government shutdown. What's your view on how things are being handled right now? And if you were involved, what kind of leadership would you be showing right now?
Well, it's just an incredible mess. I mean, we'll start with Obamacare, and look, I think conservatives are right to be standing firm on doing something to at least delay the implementation of Obamacare. And we're seeing that, October 1st, the exchanges went up and none of them worked. None of them across the country. There are problems with Obamacare that I think as conservatives we should have been arguing much more strongly a long time ago on this. It was always perceived that conservatives just opposed Obamacare because they opposed Obama. And a lot of conservatives do oppose Obama, but there are real substantive issues, no matter what you think about Obama, that Obamacare is causing. Across North Carolina, people are getting their Blue Cross Blue Shield letters in the mail and finding out their health care premiums are going to go up.
80% is about the average that I'm hearing.
Yeah. I talk to small business owners all the time, and I was one, and we actually provided health care for our employees. But I talk to small business owners all the time who, a painting contractor, for example, that I was talking to the other day, and he said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to provide health care for my employees, but the level of health care that Obamacare requires me to provide, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do. And these guys are going to get dumped into these exchanges, which, by the way, now we're finding out don't even work. And so there were substantive problems with this that wasn't about partisanship and wasn't about politics. And I think if I were there, I would really have been focusing on driving that message home, that now we're really seeing people didn't know why to oppose Obamacare except for that they didn't like Obama. Now we know that it's going to destroy our small businesses, our economies, and it's hitting people in their pocketbooks big time.
You back to your background, you said that you started a small business. What kind of business were you in?
So our business helped to advise people really about Washington and about dealing with communications issues in the public, so how you communicate to the public and that kind of thing. So it was a consulting
kind of a consulting,
well, it
political
is. It still
consulting.
exists. It still exists.
Are you still involved in that?
No, I'm not. I resigned my position there and to return to Eastern North Carolina and run.
Where do you live?
I live in New Bern.
You live okay, so you're living in New. How long have you lived there?
I have moved to New Bern in about the past month, but I've been back and forth for a long time. For about the past 3 months, I've been spending probably half time, a little bit more, in Eastern North Carolina.
It's a large district.
Very large.
You're going to have to
7 million square miles.
Yeah, you're going to have to. You're going to have to do a lot to get a name out there that no one's heard before.
It's very true, and that's why I'm so grateful for you to have me on this morning. I know this show is heard all over Eastern North Carolina and in my hometown of New Bern now, which I've always loved New Bern. We spent summers growing up down in Atlantic Beach. We would drive down there. Dad would pack the car up on a Saturday morning, and we'd go down and spend the day in Atlantic Beach, and then come back, and we'd always drive through New Bern on the way. And I always thought it was the neatest little town, and I've found it's the quality of life there, and it's just wonderful, and I couldn't be happier.
Taylor Griffin and the announcement coming up. I guess we'll be hearing more from you, right?
I hope so. I hope to see you again. Yes, absolutely.
Right. Well, I'm sure down the road we'll have you back on, and it's going to be an interesting political season.
It is.
Great to meet you, and I appreciate you taking the time to come by here this morning. Good to see you.
Great to meet you too, Henry.
Taylor Griffin, the new candidate, now in the race, making his announcement today that he's going to run against Congressman Walter Jones for the the Republican nomination for Congress in the 3rd District here in Eastern North Carolina. All right, 17 now in front of 8 o'clock. McGee's coming up in front of 9 o'clock. McGee's coming up next with sports. Be right back.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with 0 down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with 0 down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
All right, welcome back. Talking the Town this morning in sports time now. McGee is here with sports, 8:45. And our sports update brought to you by Stadium Sports this morning with a large selection of ECU apparel and tailgating gear for the entire family. Nike, Under Armour, Russell, Ping, Cutter and Buck. Didn't you tell me they got a sidewalk sale?
Big sidewalk sale going on right now.
Sidewalk sale going on right now at Stadium Sports. That's the area's premier baseball, softball, and volleyball superstore. If you don't know where they're located, very easy to find and a lot of parking. They're at the corner of Charles Boulevard and 14th Street in the Harris Teeter Shopping Center. Friendly, personable staff. And they've got all of the 2014 baseball gear, and it's arriving daily. Stop by and demo a bat. Go by and see Eric Jarman and the guys and be a part of all the great tailgating coming up. Got a home game in a couple of weeks, and you need something new and purple to wear to celebrate this great football season that the Pirates are having. They got the largest selection of ECU apparel and tailgating gear around, so stop by Stadium Sports for the entire family. Stadium Sports, again, in the Harris Teeter Shopping Center, corner Charles and 14th. And Stadium Sports brings us our sports update. Here's McGee.
And speaking of that good season, the Pirates will take on Middle Tennessee this weekend, 3:30 in Murfreesboro. And the Choose Pews Pirate Game Day Countdown will be live at Mellow Mushroom from 1:30 to 3:30 Saturday afternoon, bringing you coverage of that game. The Pirates right now 5th in the nation in rushing defense, giving up just 78.5 yards per per game. Also, some other news from ECU this week. Gabe Willard is this week's nominee for the 2013 FedEx Orange Bowl FWA Courage Award. That will be announced at the end of the season, so congratulations to Gabe Willard on that. Other college football news tonight, number 12 UCLA will be on the road at Utah. And if you're a big fan of watching the service academies play football, maybe more so for the players, not really for the game, Air Force and Navy will play this weekend. The Department of Defense gave the go-ahead for the service academies to play this weekend despite the federal shutdown. That game, of course, includes Air Force and Navy, which has been sold out and scheduled for a national network broadcast on CBS. The discussion of paying college athletes continues across the nation, and Syracuse head basketball coach Jim Boeheim shared his opinion Wednesday speaking at an annual AP meeting of New York newspaper editors, saying, quote, "That's really the most idiotic suggestion of all time. I don't believe players should be paid. I believe they're getting a tremendous opportunity." Of course, all basketball coaches now gearing up as they've started basketball practice across the country. NFL action coming up tonight, 2-2 Buffalo at 2-2 Cleveland. And one side note here is if you've seen the video of head coach Steve Spurrier's latest coaches show after the UCF win, a very close win by the Gamecocks, 28-25. Some were saying that, South Carolina is saying that video was pulled because he was negative. Others are saying that it was pulled because Spurrier was drunk and that he had a few beers after the game.
So the university pulled it?
They pulled it.
And they're saying it was because he was too negative?
Too negative, yes.
Well, you know that's BS because he's always negative.
Yeah, he actually did come out and say, he said he hopes he wasn't drunk, but he shouldn't get into how many beers he does choose to have after a game, and that most coaches after games, after preparation a week, choose to have some beers after the game.
They shot it after the game Saturday night. He was drunk.
I told a buddy of mine after that near loss, I may have been too, if I was Coach Spurrier.
Who'd they play on Saturday?
UCF.
And they beat them barely.
Yeah, 28-25.
Yeah.
It's close.
So he went and had a few. He knocked back a few after that. And
yeah, he wanted to forget about that performance by the Gamecocks. So.
Oh Lord! All right, 11 minutes in front of 9. More talk of the town coming up. It's the 3rd of October. Be right back after this.
Eastern North Carolina's best selection of used cars and trucks is at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Greenville. The great folks at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will put you in a quality pre-owned vehicle for as low as $99 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will pay top dollar for your trade. Right now, no matter the condition. Acres of sedans, minivans, SUVs, and trucks. You won't find a better deal on a used car anywhere. So bring in your car and trade up to a quality pre-owned vehicle.
And remember, East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep will pay more for your trade than anyone.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10 delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a live-in manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See specially marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with 0 down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camrys $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, Where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Hey, Bailey's Fine Jewelry is one of our Talk of the Town sponsors, and we're excited to announce for Bailey's that they've been chosen as the new home for Tacori. Tacori has that's a new line of jewelry, and they have a passion for creating beautiful pieces that become heirlooms, and Bailey's proud to bring this exquisitely handcrafted jewelry line from stunning engagement rings to gorgeous necklaces and earrings. Tacori fuses classic elegance and modern glamour and style in each piece. Bailey's is the new home for it here in Greenville. Come by and see the perfect piece of Tacori for you or your lady. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box, 511 Red Banks Road in Greenville. All right, 7 in front of 9 o'clock. Here, got a couple minutes left on the program this morning. And we will be back in the studio tomorrow morning, and no live remote this Friday. So we'll have a rare Friday morning in studio, which will be kind of nice. It's going to be a great weekend. I think the weather's going to be terrific for the Seafood Festival and the Pitt County Fair and the Choose Pews pregame countdown for the Pirates, which will originate live on Saturday afternoon starting at 1:30 outside on the deck at Mellow Mushroom. And I'm looking at the forecast, McGee, and it's going to be perfect for your pregame show.
Should be good. Should be a lot of fun.
Temperature's probably going to be in the low 80s when you guys get started, maybe mid-80s.
I expect. It'll be right in the prime time.
They got the fans out there. They got the big screen TVs out there. They got the bar out there.
Games will be going on as we're out there already.
Right.
So.
And I might come by and order if I'm there, we will get a couple of pies.
Ooh, I like
and you
that.
know what I'll order?
The Mighty Meaty.
The Mighty Meaty.
Count me in.
What are you shaking your head for, Coach? The Mighty Meaty at Mellow Mushroom? You haven't had that yet?
It is good, Henry, but I don't think it's for you. Trent can eat all day. There's no problem
What
with
is
Trent.
that?
What are you saying, Coach? I don't think it's for you.
No, McGee can eat all day.
What do you think? I should have a salad? Is that what you're saying?
There you go. Without the dressing.
Thank you, Coach. I hate you. Thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
You old SOB, you.
You know what I'm going to do tomorrow since we're going to be in the studio? And you mentioned it earlier in the week that your wife makes a great breakfast casserole. I'm going to make mine tonight and bring it in tomorrow morning.
Are you using Acre Station sausage?
Maybe I am.
If you do, it'll be extra specially good.
Okay.
You're going to bring it in tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
You make a breakfast casserole?
Yeah.
Is anybody willing to eat McGee's cooking in there?
Come on now.
Me? Yeah. Oh, everybody is.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
absolutely. I just want to compare it to.
I never thought you. Do you like to cook really?
When I have time.
I don't. Me too. You know, I wish I could cook. I can't do anything but microwave stuff.
You know, after Trent's 75%. Hey, he got my support. Whatever you want, Trent. I got
Coach Carr's my man.
Coach is pumping you up, man.
I like it.
McGee, when McGee said that he guaranteed East Carolina would beat the Tar Heels by 75%, we all thought that he had finally started smoking the blue mouth. We thought he was hitting the crack pipe, but turns out you were right.
Yeah.
You have a prediction for this Saturday?
Yeah, I think they'll win by. They'll cover the spread. I think it's gonna be right around that 9-10 point margin.
East Carolina's up. I thought we were 12 point.
9.5 point favorite.
9.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be right around that. It's home. As Billy Weaver said yesterday, it's homecoming. Crowd will be better. I think Middle Tennessee State will play well.
Logan says this is could be the trap game for East Carolina.
Certainly could be.
The coaches have to make sure that the players don't overlook Middle Tennessee State. You hear Middle Tennessee State, nobody knows anything about them, but I mean, they've played some teams tough.
And Stock still knows about us. He'll be ready.
Yeah, but Stock still didn't. He wasn't part of this staff. He was,
no. Hey, look, when he was here, they were 1-11.
Yeah, no, he was part of the John Thompson.
Yikes.
That great moment in history when John Thompson was the coach at East Carolina. All right, we'll be back on 94.1 and 103.7 tomorrow. Phil Knight's still out. Everybody have a great Thursday. Enjoy this great weather.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with 0 down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camry's $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit topdogonline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Pepsi, born here, raised by Panthers fans everywhere.
Raise your Pepsi for a chance to win the ultimate fan experience. See Specially Marked 18 packs or visit PepsiRaisedHere.com to learn more.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
You want out of your old car but owe more than it's worth? You want credit but the bank won't approve you? Greenville Toyota will take care of all of that during our great September sell-off. Get up to 125% of Blue Book value for your trade. Then get to a new 2013 Toyota with 0 down. Corolla's $179 a month. Camry's $219 a month. And get the Greenville Toyota Advantage with covered maintenance for life. Don't miss Greenville Toyota's great September sell-off, where if you give us 15 minutes, we can lower your high car payment.
This is the spot where 50 years ago, Pirates came together to build a stadium, where 50,000 screaming fans cheer their team to victory, where cannons roar to mark each score.
You can paint this one purple.
Where Pirate football lives on. This is the spot you need to be this fall. Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. For tickets, visit ECUPirates.com.
Station.